few days in November, so that's pretty alarming and not fall weather at all. So I'm like, what, I'm recording this on the 8th. Is it the 8th? I think it's the 8th of November, so there's still time, okay? A lot of years, I think we have snow, like, for the first time on Thanksgiving. So, like, there's time. But these, like, a couple 75-degree days for the past few weeks is like, oh, nar, baby, what is this? Nar. I do really like the fall, and I like putting on my layers and hiking in the chilly, crisp air. So I'm like, oh, nar, like, what is this, baby? Like, nar, this ain't it. So, and also, like, by me, like, we have the lake effect, so it's typically, like, cooler by me than in other places, like, than in the south of the state. So if it's, like, 75 by me in November, it's like, nar, baby, like what the, like, what is this? And then I got my, like, 1 year ago today thing on Insta, and it was like 1 year ago, it was like 55 degrees, and I thought it was so warm. I went to the lake, and I took off my shoes, and I, like, went in the water, just, like, ankle deep, and I, like, took pictures and videos of it, and was like, can't believe it's, like, 55, like, was so nice out today. I went to the lake. Now this year it's 75. Like, no, I'm not going to the lake this year. I'm like, why is it 75, baby? Like, no, this is not fall weather. But yeah, but so hopefully that will chill out a little bit, because I feel like we are, like, losing the seasons, like the fall and the spring, and I love the fall, so I'm like, nar, like, we can't just skip over this, like, nar. So yeah, but I was really glad to have that little Canada weekend, and yeah, like, the air was so crisp there and whatever. But going back before that, I wanted to ramble about the past couple months, I guess. My brain is, like, all over the place today. I thought I was getting fucking laid off today. Like, I was stressed this morning. My manager sent out an email for a 15-minute update 15 minutes before there was supposed to be a whole department meeting, and she sent it, like, the day of. So I had, like, 2 hours notice that there was gonna be this 15-minute meeting 15 minutes before the department was gonna be meeting. And I knew from the first round of layoffs my company had, I knew that people got, like, emails or Teams message that was like, hey, do you have a second, or like, hey, whatever, and they went in for short, like, 15-minute meetings, and then we're gone. So I'm still a little frazzled, because I thought that was it. I saw the little invite, and I was like, what? I was like, today, really? Like, I was like, damn. So I thought I was gone. Ciao. Needless to say, that was not what it was. But I'm all off topic now, but I guess I said I was gonna ramble about what I've been up to lately, so I guess this counts too, baby. But yeah, I was so frazzled. As soon as I logged in and saw that message, I walked past my manager's office like 3 times, and she was, like, talking to someone each 2 hours. Like, if I'm gone, like, tell me now. So, like, don't make me wait for 2 hours. Like, so I just told her that straight up, and she was like, no, it's not that. It's not layoffs. Like, it's good. Like, whatever. So, I didn't know if I believed her all the way, but I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, so needless to say, I did not get laid off. Essentially, my workplace is like switching, like formatting of like who's doing what, and so like my position is switching again, basically, and this time it's going to be more into marketing, which is what I went to school for and what I wanted to be in. So it seems like it should actually be like a good switch. But yeah, I was convinced that the going was getting, the getting was going, whatever. Like, I'm still so frazzled. Before I was able to talk with her, I had this little like thing of crystals at my desk. I put my crystals back in my bag. I said, no, they're not gonna be throwing this in a box and breaking it. Like, absolutely not. I was like, ugh. But no, it wasn't even that. But yeah, so that was today, and why I feel so frazzled and incapable of rambling cohesively right now. But yeah, what I was going to say was, I was gonna say that September, I feel like, was a really just like off month for me. Like, I feel like I disassociated like through the whole month. Like, I had a really, really, really good summer this year, and historically, summer has not been like my favorite season or anything, but this year I loved summer. Like, I had so much fun, and I did so many things I wanted to, and I, hung out with different people and did different things, and yeah, I just had like such a good summer this year. So then September was like coming back from that. It was like, okay, like, time to be serious. Like, I went a bunch of different places over the summer. I talked to different people. Like, I got to know different friends better, like, whatever. And then September, I feel like, is kind of the month where everyone's kind of like hunkering down. For anyone who's in school, it's like back to school and whatever. And yeah, I feel like September just kind of has this like seriousness about it. And like, you kind of, I mean, it's Virgo season too, so it's like a time to where you may feel this wave of like wanting to like be productive or get your life together or get on track with something or whatever. And then it goes from that into Libra season, which is all about balance at the end of September. So yeah, I don't know, usually I'm hit with waves of nostalgia around the fall, and I don't know if it's because, like, again, it wasn't that, it hasn't been super fall-y consistently, so maybe that's why I didn't really get hit with that normally overpowering wave of like nostalgia in September. But yeah, I felt like I was kind of like coming down from this high of like a super fun summer, and then it was kind of like, okay, time to like focus, get your head in the game, like whatever. And there's always depressing things happening in the world, so there's that too. But yeah, I just feel like I just felt really off in September, like just very off. And yeah, and then I was like convinced that some of my friends like hated me all of a sudden. Like, I just felt like people were off and relationships were off, and yeah, I was really convinced that a couple of my friends like now like hated me or something, and I do feel like they were like acting different, and I was kind of just feeling like off and like, oh my gosh, maybe nobody gives a shit about me like anywhere. And also, I don't really know what I'm doing, clear away some of the like sad funk I was really feeling. And yeah, so then I was like trying to start doing things I enjoy, like starting to do fall activities that I was looking forward to for months, and just trying to do things I enjoy. Excuse me. So towards the end of September and beginning of October, like I started trying that. But at first, like it was not working. Like I still felt super irritable and just like not, the vibe was not vibing okay. So yeah, it was just kind of all over the place, and yeah, that was kind of rough because I feel like when you're in a funk or when you're feeling really down or depressed or you're like in that space, like you know, like you're trying to remember. There's a good Euphoria quote actually from Rue where she's like, suddenly I've quoted it before on my channel, but she's like, suddenly your whole day, like your whole days are blending together, and I'm paraphrasing, but until you get to the point where all you can think about is that life has always been this way and will only continue to, like that's what your brain starts telling you, and you like try to remember the things that like make you happy and whatever, but suddenly like you don't even like think, you can't even think of like what makes you happy anymore, or what made you happy like isn't making you happy anymore, basically. So like it's kind of like that when you're in that headspace, and you can actively know that like, okay, like I need to get out of this, I want to get out of this bunk, like da 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 da, and you can like actively try to do things you enjoy. But I feel like it's an extra layer of sadness when you try to do those things and like you don't even really enjoy those, because you're just so, like the funk just feels so heavy that like you can't even enjoy the things that you're trying to do to make you feel better, because you know you enjoy them, but you're not enjoying them anymore. Like it's just, that's tough, you know. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It sucks basically. But eventually at some point I did start to feel better. But I feel like you can never really tell. Like you can sometimes tell like, oh, I started feeling better when I started doing this or that, but sometimes it's like not even like that. Like sometimes it's like you never know. You just never know like when, you know, when things are going to work out or pay off or have a positive effect or not. So I feel like I'm not doing the best job at explaining this, but I feel like if you relate, then you already know like what I'm saying without me being the most eloquent speaker on this at the moment. But yeah. So yeah, September was also Suicide Prevention Month, so I think in the past I like posted about it, and I didn't this year. But just as a reminder, you are always more loved and cared about than you think, and things can always turn up and turn better. At any moment, your life can change in a moment. So I hope you all always remember that. But yeah, so that was September, and then in October I tried to do more fall activities, and I read more in October. I tried to read some fun spooky season books, and I did, and they were so fun, and I talked about those in my last reading wrap up, so you can check out that if you have not already. was one of the friends I was convinced hated me. So I also hung out with them, and I talked to some new people, got to know some new people a little bit. I feel like it's always difficult when you meet new people though, because like, I don't know, there's a certain level of like dedication or whatever. Like in the beginning, I feel like I'm annoyed when I'm having conversations with new people in the beginning. Like I feel like everything just everything low-key annoys me about like texting conversations about somebody you don't know that well, and you're doing like the niceties and formalities, and like I just don't like it. Like I just want to skip over that part to the part where you know like if you gel with someone or not. But yeah, but I did get to know some new people a little bit in October. And then I also had the Canada weekend trip with my college friend, so that was fun. Also though, Liam Payne died, I believe that was in October, and that was obviously very sad. So there was that. And yeah. Oh, and then Halloween. Halloween was fun. I think I talked about Halloween in my video where I wore like a wig and whatever that went up super late because I filmed it after Halloween. I filmed it the weekend after Halloween since that Halloween was on a Thursday, so like, you know, whatever. So it was already late by the time I filmed it. And then I scheduled it after a pre-filmed video I already had, or maybe 2 pre-filmed videos, I don't know. But so then I scheduled it out, so it's probably like super late and people are probably like, why are you wearing a wig in this video? But whatever. But Halloween was fun. Like it was a positive day at work and whatnot, and it was a nice vibe. I love seeing people being goofy and like dressing up and that type of stuff. And I watched, you know, spooky movies, spooky shows, which I talked about in my video with the wig. And yeah, so Halloween was fun. I really like Halloween. Then spooky season, you know, spooky season stuff, that's all super fun and great. Then November 1st, I put up my pink tree. Okay, she's up, she's decorated. I was ready, baby. So yeah, there was that. And yeah, one of my friend's birthdays is at the beginning of November, so there was that. And one of my friends from work got their last day at work in October, that week before Halloween. Their contract didn't get renewed, so we had our last lunch for them. I'm sad to see them go, and yeah, that was that. And yeah, that was October. Spooky season. I think spooky season is the entire winter, but that's beside the point. But yeah, but then the spookiest thing of all, the week after the Halloween in the US every 4 years, of course, is the election. So I'm recording this on like the 8th. I think it's the 8th, but who knows? I could be completely wrong because as I have stated, am a little out of it today. But yeah, so we had the election a few days ago when I'm recording this, and I will say, just go ahead and click off right now if you don't want to talk politics, hear politics, because I need y'all. We're getting into it, okay? So, election Tuesday is on a Tuesday, blah blah blah. So I worked from home that day. I didn't want to hear the chatter of people at work, okay? I didn't want to hear it. And yeah, so I worked from home. I was thinking as soon as it turned, you know, whatever time the live coverage was starting, I was thinking I was gonna turn it on, you know, whatever. I'm 25 now, recently turned 25, so debate, like, have we all heard the same things? Like, do y'all not remember, like, in January of 2021, like, when his followers, like, attacked our nation's capital and committed domestic terrorism, and he told them he loved them and acted like they were homies, when a year prior black people were dying every day on the news, being murdered brutally, and he called them thugs. And I'm like, did y'all not, like, do y'all not remember that? Did y'all not see that? Because I do remember that. I did see that. Like, how do y'all not? Okay, like I was confused. I was like, ain't no way this is the poor. Like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Like what the fuck is this? Like, I was shook. Okay, shook. And yeah, I went to bed at like 12:30, and I had him a call to get, and I was like, maybe when I wake up, it'll be the other direction. When I woke up, and I checked online real quick, and I saw they had already called it, and he had already made a little victory speech before other networks even called it. I was like, you gotta be fucking lying. Like, ain't no fucking way. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm like, girl, what? Like, no fucking way. I was shook. I was so freaking shook. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my fucking gosh. Like, I was shook. I was distraught. I'm still distraught, honestly, because I'm just like, what? Like, it's just insane. Like, if you've been following me for a while, this should come as no surprise to you how I feel about this, because I'm fairly open with my opinions, but I'm just like, honey child, like what the fuck is this? Okay. And if there's any strays, any stragglers who made it this far in the video and want to talk some nonsense, do not even, that's the highway to being blocked. So yeah, I was shook. I'm still shook. And yeah, I was distraught the next day, and then I went to go to work after that. Okay, like what? I was shook. I've been shook. And yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I know people hate their neighbors. I know people hate themselves. I know they project that hatred onto others. I know people hate women. I know people hate black people. I know this. But seeing it play out on such a big scale, I know people prioritize the concept of a dollar over people's actual lives. Like, I know that. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I am. Like, I just am shook. So, yeah. And then seeing my state too, like, I wasn't surprised when I saw which way my state went. But I'm just like, I miss the days when I was a kid, I remember we were considered a swing state, and the state would swing either way, depending on what issues were at stake, who the people were, what was being said, what was, like, like, it wasn't this blind, like, a following of a person or a party. And yeah, it's just crazy to me, after all the food recalls and food and safety terribleness we've had over the past year, from the last time he was in term and struck down all these regulations and stuff, after the women that have died from not getting reproductive health care indexes, after all of this stuff, I'm just like, ain't no way a convicted never surprising, but it's always disappointing. Like, I know, like, loved ones, like family members, people in my own life probably, like, voted that way, and it's just so sad to me, because I know for those people in my lives, I know it's, like, based on some, like, religious ideology that is being projected onto others, and I'm just so tired of it. Like, I'm like, religion should not be used to project your beliefs and standards and guidelines onto everyone else. Like, what happened to separation of church and state? Like, I just do not get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, yeah, it's just so sad for me to see. And yeah, crazy. So, yeah, needless to say, that was depressing, and yeah, it's just sad to think about. Literally half of, like, that's insane, like half of a country, like, hating their neighbor that much. Like, it's just incredibly depressing. So, yeah, that's my thoughts and feelings on that. Truly crazy, but yeah. So I feel like I've been sleep deprived this whole week because, yeah, this ain't it. This is not it. And yeah, I'm shook. So that paired with the fact that I thought I was getting fucking laid off today. I'm so glad it's a fucking Friday. Tomorrow I'm having some girlfriends over and we're going to paint pumpkins because it is still harvest season. So I kind of wanted to paint like Charlie Brown themed pumpkins, maybe, is what I think I want to do for mine. And then I got pumpkins for them too. So I'm gonna plan on doing that tomorrow. I've also been going on walks more the past few weeks, just like in my neighborhood and stuff. I didn't this week, except I think I did Monday, but then I didn't the rest of the week just because I didn't know if people were gonna be acting crazy with the election. And yeah, I didn't want to be outside with people acting crazy. But next week I think I'll try to start walking outside again, since the weather's been, not too whatever, like, since it's been mild, like, it's actually a really good time to walk. So I think I'll try to pick that back up again next week. But yeah, that's probably one of the things that has helped is my little outdoor walks. But again, you can't even say that will help 100% of the time, because sometimes, like I said, like, if there's like crazy people outside, like, all of a sudden that ain't relaxing anymore. Or like one of my girlfriends said that somebody like tried to like abduct her when she was walking before. So with everything that's good for you, like, it can also not be good for you if the wrong people are there and it's the wrong time, which sucks. But yeah, that's my plans for the weekend is pumpkin painting, and I have to clean my place because it was all clean, and now it's gotten all not clean, surprise surprise. And switching. So, I mean, I'm excited for it because, like I said, it sounds like it's gonna be more into like what I went to school for and like what I want to do. But I'm also like, I don't know what the expectation is going to be for this new role, so that's a little nerve-wracking. But yeah, I'm currently reading You Again by Kate Goldbeck. And I only have this much left to go, so I should talk about it in this month's reading wrap up, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a little fall romance, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I know a lot of people said they're unlikable characters and they didn't like the book and da 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 da. I don't need characters to be 1000% likable for me to like a book. I can love a book with unlikable characters sometimes. Okay. So yeah, but this book is kind of like When Harry Met Sally, the movie, but like with gender roles swapped. Like she's the one who doesn't want to settle down and he's the one who does want something serious. So it's kind of like swapped, but it's very much kind of the vibe of that movie, and I love that movie, so I'm really enjoying this. And then I finished rereading the Folk of Air trilogy. So obviously I talked about The Girl Prince in one of my spring reading wrap-ups, and I talked about The Wicked King in last month's reading wrap-up, but I also finished The Queen of Nothing this month, so I'll be talking about that in this month's reading wrap-up. And now I'm reading the sequel duology to the series, so I only have this much left to go of The Stolen Heir. And then I will move on to Prisoner's Throne, which is the final book in the duology. And then I will be all caught up on the Elfame stories, because I also read the graphic novel When the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories, or How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories, whatever it's called. I also read that last year, and I listened to the short story The Lost Sisters, which was Taryn's point of view, this year. So I'm all caught up on all the Folk of Air series books, universes books. Well, I think there are other fairy tales that are set in the same world, but not the same series, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, so after I finish this one, I will read the second book, and then I'll be done with all of that. So yeah, I love all of the hardbacks of all of Holly Black's Folk of Air books. Like, they're just so stunning. Like, hello, little Foxy with the heart. So yeah. And then after I read the sequel to this, I want to reread Fourth Wing and then read Iron Flame for the first time in preparation for the third book, Onyx Storm, which comes out at the end of January. So that's where I am with the books. And then I'm also listening to the audiobook for My Dark Vanessa, which is a literary fiction